And we are live.
Yeah.
Happy Tuesday, boys.
Happy Tuesday.
Welcome
See you
back.
guys again. Welcome back.
Have we come up with a name for the podcast yet?
Still working
So
on
awesome. How good. We've got a few close ones. We won't disclose them yet.
Yeah.
Still working on copyright and trademarking, obviously.
Yeah, patent.
100%. So maybe we'll start off with a bit of a weekly summary like we normally do. By the way, guys, today's podcast and all podcasts going forward, we'll be discussing anything business, life advice related, and negotiation, how to find investors, anything to basically help you get out of the rat race to start your own business.
Yep. What to do and what not to do.
Exactly, because we've got to.
Especially what not to do.
Yes, JP specialises in what.
I've got a lot of experience.
Tons of things that any one of us
I've
should
seen a
have
lot.
done.
We use it for a lot of examples.
Yes.
A friend of mine, yeah. Once upon a time, my friend, JP.
That's it. Yeah.
You know that saying, asking for a mate? That's always JP.
Yeah.
Asking for JP.
I can tell who that is.
That's a beautiful whiskey. What is that?
Yeah, we've got a Woodford Reserve. Pretty good.
I can taste the guy. This is going to sound weird. I'm not even going to say it. I was just about to say I can taste the guy who made it. And I'm like, what am I doing? It has a lot of a very woody taste, very oaky, maybe a bit of a hint of chocolate in it as well. It's a great drop. Thank you for bringing this on today, Josh. Where did you and John source this from?
Dan's Murphy's.
Dan Murphy's? Yeah, he sounds like a great guy.
Yeah, no, he's great guy.
Pretty cool.
I'm good mates with First Choice actually as well. Apparently Dan's nicer though. Apparently he's a bit of a vibe. But let's start off with a bit of a weekly summary. So Josh, do you want to tell us, by the way, sorry about my voice today. I don't have coronavirus, by the way. I've been tested.
Right.
Been singing.
Say again, I've been singing a little bit, playing my guitar.
Can we hear a little bit?
Oh look, I don't want to take the show, all right?
No, please, I insist.
By all means,
No, get the guitar.
ukulele.
How was your week this week, Josh? What do you want to give us one positive? Did you just hit your mouth with the glass?
No, one of the ice cubes
Nice.
exploded.
Exploded.
Yeah, it must be good whiskey.
All right, that's how hot you are. You just melt ice instantly.
Yeah, it's a string jacket I got.
How good? Yeah, you're gonna get really hot
I
now.
like it. Show the inside.
Yeah, it's a Bentley.
Got that diamond.
How
handle.
was snowboarding
Actually,
today?
got the diamond
the new Bentley we're getting.
the same as that door?
How
You know,
good.
same pattern.
Very
Yeah,
good. I
no,
like
good
it.
week. We had a good week, didn't we?
Give us maybe one positive and one negative. So maybe one achievement that you achieved last week and a negative, a mistake that you may have made or a negative thing in your week that you could probably learn from.
Yeah, cool. I think I mentioned last podcast we're looking at starting up the agency within the local side of the business.
Sure.
We've done a lot of sales over in Taiwan and Hong Kong, and now we want to focus on the local sales as well. So that's been awesome. We've spoken to a lot of different companies that we're going to work with, like REA and RP Data and stuff like that, building like a big software back of house stuff until we get all the agents on board. We just want to be super efficient. But from a negative point of view, that's also taken some time away from the development side of the business. So we've had to manage doing both things. Like we're just all to the walls right now with the development. So as much as we want to introduce this agency side, we can't spend too much time on it. So to combat that, we're looking at bringing on someone full time. You met Andrew Daniels.
Yep.
So we're looking at bringing him on now Monday to Friday.
Sure. Awesome. Good stuff. Congratulations. And what about so you would say maybe the negative side was like the balancing act between not spending too much on the agency and focusing on the task, the biggest probably goal, which is obviously getting the development pushed through and
the development's not going to produce an income
for a while.
2 years or so.
Yep.
So the agency at least will bring some cash flow, pay rent, pay for the whiskey, stuff like that.
100%. Well, if you want to go halves on the whiskey, I'll help with that. As for everything else, that's on you. No, I'm kidding. No, but that sounds like a good idea to get cash flow through as well.
Yeah.
Because it's probably a lot of people struggle out there with cash flow in business and making sure that money is coming through the door sort of thing. And sometimes you spend too much time, trying to make it perfect and procrastinating too much that you miss out on a business opportunity. So it's good to see you guys have adapted to that and pushed through. What about you, John?
Well, obviously we're business partners, so in a very, very similar situation. Over the past week, the good thing that came through was I've secured another deal through my Taiwanese connection. So that's good.
It's awesome.
We're still working on another bigger deal, which I'm not going to reveal until the deal is pretty much confirmed. Hopefully, fingers crossed, by next week, I can reveal a bit more about that deal.
Sure. We're talking like 1 million, 2 million,
Yeah,
10
yeah,
million,
it's
20, 30,
minimum.
like
10 plus.
It's minimum of one. Yeah.
minimum of one?
Yeah.
Good
And,
stuff.
Yeah,
Excellent.
you hit that spot. It's 10 million that I'm talking about here.
Cool.
This deal that I'm working on.
Oh, good.
Then again, people procrastinate like what you've
Yep.
just said. Nothing gets done because obviously during this coronavirus time, we can't really travel overseas.
No.
So the downside to that is I do have other clients who are very interested in investing in Australia, but due to the fact that we cannot travel, so it's a bit disappointing that they're not gone. By all means, they're still there, but they're not willing to take the next step.
Yeah.
As in bringing the funds to Australia to invest just yet until we can start flying. They can come here, inspect the sites, and obviously, or we can go to Taiwan to meet them face to face. So that's the downside of the week.
Yeah, for sure.
How about yourself?
We had a very successful week last week. We landed a few jobs on Wednesday. One was, like I said, maybe the week before, the Brisbane City Council one. So that's all going forward now. They accepted the proposal, which will be filming a lot of their festivals and stuff that they're doing around this time. I think it was like a Jazz in the Park was the first one that they're going to do, so that should be pretty good. And then they will probably go and venture into the river fire and all that sort of stuff as well. So that will be awesome to film the river fire. That'd be really, really good.
Wow, that would be great.
And then I'm also in talks with a Bucks party company on the Gold Coast as well. So he's wanting to film almost like a hangover style of video, which would be right up my alley. I even go on the other side of the lens for that one. So we'll have a few crew for that. We've got to basically choreograph the whole thing and produce a storyline for him, which should be pretty good. So I'll probably have him up here this week or next week to go through the storyboard session, plan out the shoot, and then he wants to do one at each state. So that will be really cool. So he basically organises for Bucks parties to come together and be all organised and not to organise anything. So that should be really, really cool.
Insane.
Yeah, and
Crazy.
negative would definitely be, I guess, trying to chase too many things at once. I find myself always jumping onto different jobs and not getting one done. And at the end of the day, you've done a lot of work but haven't really accomplished one thing in itself. I'm sure a lot of you guys can understand that.
Yeah.
And
you see me nodding.
yeah, and it happens. And it's really hard to control. But the main thing for me was recognizing that it was happening and bringing myself in that position where I was like, doing too many things here. Focus on one, get that one thing done, and then work on your next one. Like the age-old saying, try to catch 2 rabbits and you'll catch none.
Exactly.
So yeah, that would probably be my negative for the week. But all in all, it was a good week. Loved it. Yeah. What about you, JP?
Let me know when you're filming that Bucks party.
Definitely. I'll definitely have you guys in it for sure.
Yeah.
100%. Wake up with a couple of tigers in the room.
Yeah. what type of tigers? Like human tigers?
Human tigers. Bloody oath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Highlight for me would be we have a client that has a client that's pretty much started an academy school for what he does for his business, and I'm actually quite excited working with him because it's good to see it from what it is. It's good to see when it came from an idea to what it is, what it's growing to be right now.
Yeah.
And they've only just had their first course this weekend, and we've been there, taking video and pictures and everything. And obviously we do their marketing and their video for them. And just watching this grow and just watching how the course goes along, it's like, wow, it's going to be very promising for them, and it's going to be a great business going into the future. And it just feels great that we actually get to be a part of it and help them grow it, because it's got huge potential to make some serious money, these guys, eh? The academy school that they've started.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, big. Like, the potential is huge. So it's just quite enjoyed doing that this week. Negatives, not much negatives I can think of.
Hey.
Come on.
Come on, man.
Don't try to paint
I
like
just can't
your
remember,
life
you
is
lazy
perfect, you know? That's not fair. You're gonna get some haters.
Coming here wearing a
Haters,
suit jacket
leave
saying there's no
comments below,
negatives.
Okay?
It's probably because I've made so many mistakes in my life. I'm very careful with what I do next.
Oh, okay, fair call. You know.
But I don't know. I think I'll probably find negative is I'm a bit the same with Andrew in the sense of I do this and it's like you see something shiny over here and you go, oh, look at that one, I'll do this next. And you go, oh, I'll do this next, and you actually achieve nothing in the end. And I found out last week I was doing that a lot and I was chasing my tail, just chasing it. I'm still chasing it at the moment, but at least I can get my head above water and go, okay, now I can see what's got to be done instead of looking at shiny things.
You know what they say? If you chase the tail, you'll fail.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wise man.
Yeah.
I better chase my head then.
Yeah. Well, there's two sorts of chow you can taste. Taste. Jesus Christ. Far out. There's two sorts of tail you can chase, and both will lead to Australia. If you chase the money, the tail comes to you. That's an age-old saying as well, I think. I think that's Greek. I think that saying is, yeah. It's quite an old one.
Oh, thanks, mate. I just
Are we going out for dinner tonight?
yeah, well, you know,
Looks
I'll
good.
leave it there.
Well, maybe you just want to look nice.
Yeah. He wanted to look like a snapper fish. You know, like, bloody.
It's my color of my skin. It just goes
Yeah,
with
it's
the pink.
complimentary.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
How often do you get a haircut?
Once a week. Yeah, once a week.
Really?
Yeah, once a
Once
week.
a
Do
week.
you get a beard as well?
Oh yeah, well, once a week as well. Just trim it, keep it tight. You know. My partner cuts my hair.
Really? Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was funny because I used to go to the barber, obviously, and she used to come along and she used to sit there and go, oh, I reckon I could cut your hair. And I was like, hell no, there's no way in the planet you're cutting my hair. She kept going on about it every time I went to the hairdresser. She goes, I reckon I could seriously do it. And it was a Saturday morning. I said, okay, I'm going to let you have a go. If you fuck it up, then I can at least go to the barber by the afternoon.
Right.
She did a perfect job. She's cut it ever since.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so
And you cut your beard?
no, I do that.
Oh, you do that
Yeah,
yourself?
I do that myself and I just trim it. That's it. Yeah.
And obviously you dress yourself as well.
Yeah,
Given-
definitely. That's it's just the Latino, in me, the flavor,
Yeah.
the caramel.
I like it. The caramel. Okay. This is getting weird.
Call me the Latino lover, right?
On that note,
On that note, we'll move on to the other topics. All right, so we've got some questions from the public this week. These people have tuned into our Instagram and asked a few questions. Say again?
we're posting them up on the
They'll
screen.
be right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Click that link.
right there. Yeah. So first question is, I actually really like this question as well. How to find motivation? So people have obviously, I'm sure everyone's been there before, when sometimes you feel flat, got no motivation there. What's the best way to find motivation?
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
But there's massive information that you can look for.
What are you searching YouTube?
Yeah.
Motivational videos.
Motivational videos.
Oh, really?
I mean, like straight up, that's what I do.
Yep.
Like I could say, look at this beautiful
Yeah.
sunset and go look at Lamborghinis and stuff, but I just YouTube shit. Like there's a lot of good stuff on YouTube.
Like when you're driving, you put it on?
Yeah, when I drive, I put on I'll type in like business motivation and
Yep.
you hear like Mark Zuckerberg or Mark Cuban and Jeff
Grant
Bezos,
Cardone,
Grant Cardone, Gary Vee. A lot of shit's on YouTube. A lot of smart people on YouTube.
Yep.
So just
good.
YouTube whatever you want, motivational, and then whatever department you're in.
Oh, wow. I guess you got an hour and a half drive, so you got heaps of time. Yeah.
What about you, John? What would you say? How do you find your motivation?
Partially agree with what George just said, but for me, it's more precise. So I don't think, because everyone's made differently. We all have different gifts. So when you're trying to look for motivational speech or anyone to motivate you, I think you gotta understand who you are first. You need to look for motivational videos or podcasts that actually suit your personality. Because that way, when you listen to it, you will relate. You will feel like, oh, this guy is talking about me. Because a lot of times, for instance, I'm not a how should you put it? I'm not sort of like Elon Musk kind of guy. Like he thinks crazy stuff outside the Earth, focuses in space, that kind of stuff. That's not me. I'm not like that. So if I listen to him, I like it, but it's not going to change me. It's not going to motivate me. What, am I going to become Elon Musk? No. But I do love Jack Ma, who is the president and CEO and founder of Alibaba, because I relate. He's Asian, I am Asian, and the stuff that he talks about, it's so real, keep it real. And a lot of people doubt at him when he first started his business, because every big business started off small, just like us. We started off small. When you're small, people challenge you, people give you criticism, people don't believe in you, but then you prove to the world. So don't compete with anyone else, compete with yourself. So I love listening to people like that motivates me. So for any one of you out there, including yourself, I think you should find someone that you can relate, rather than just listening to someone who talks about what you should do in life. For example, someone talks about you gotta get up in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. That's when you perform the ultimate, the best for throughout the whole day. Fuck that shit. I don't want to wake up in 4 o'clock. That's gonna put me in the lowest spirit ever. I'll get grumpy all the time like that. So it doesn't suit me. So I think you gotta find someone that suits your lifestyle, then you perform the best. What about you?
Well, motivation stems from the word motive. It's part of the word itself. So I think for anyone to find motivation and for anyone to, I guess, be able to get the motive to do anything, they need to actually dial down on find a big enough motive to get out of bed in the morning, find that purpose. Because I think that anyone can, like you were just saying about getting up in the mornings, I feel the exact same as you. I am definitely not an early riser at all. I normally go to bed at about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So for me to get up at 4, it's 2 hours sleep. I'm a night owl, and my brain works better at night because I'm no distractions, no one can annoy me, and I can work all night sort of thing. So for me to get motivation, I have to find a big enough motive for me to do it. So if I want to be more motivated to make money, I'll maybe set some goals and some targets for me to hit going forward, and really want those things. Not just say you sort of want to really, really want those things, and have a deadline as well to be able to get there, and the step-by-step guide. Because I find whenever there is no motive for something, there will be no motivation. I can promise you that. If Christmas morning when we were kids, you happily wake up at 4 in the morning and you jump out of bed. Why? Because there was something to look forward to.
Santa Claus is coming down the chimney.
100%. And you got motive to wake up. And then tomorrow, we may not jump out of bed at 4 in the morning, or when you go to the airport, to Vegas the next day, or America, or Mykonos, or anywhere, you jump out of bed. You literally jump out of bed. So I think finding the motive for what you're trying to be motivated for is going to help you the most, and that would be my take on motivation.
Interesting. Well, what I do to get motivated, obviously from a PT background, I like to set goals. I admit sometimes I get lazy at setting them, but when I do set them, I set them for what, either for my health or business, whatever it is. But I usually like to start off my day straight away. I wake up early, at least 5 o'clock, 4:30 every morning, but and I go to sleep maybe 11, 12. I only need like 5 hours sleep. That's only because so many years I was a PT. I just got used to just having 5 hours, 6 hours. It doesn't bother me. I just get up and move. The way I start my day to get motivated is obviously have goals, but 2 things I do. One is my morning routine, which is straight away I get up at about 4:45, get dressed, go to the gym, be there around whatever, 5:15, 5:30, whatever. Stay there till about 7, and I go with my partner, and that motivates the both of us because we spot each other, we look after each other, we're doing weights, and the good thing about training with my partner is that you always have a training partner. They'll never let you down. They're always there. They're always spotting you. They always got your back. So that, yeah, exactly. So sometimes I can't be fucked. You know what I mean? And she's like, "Come on, let's go," and I'm like, "Fuck," and it's so great. I go because I don't want to feel like a bastard because they're not going because of me, what I mean? So vice versa. So we go, so that motivates me straight away. The other thing that motivates me the most is, and the one that keeps me going, is surrounding myself around people that are motivated themselves and that are, fighting to get ahead and all that sort of stuff, because the enthusiasm, you feed it off each other. You know, he throws something out, then you throw something out. Let's do this, man. Let's do that. Okay, yeah. And in the back of your mind, you know what your goals are because you've already set them. You've already got them on paper. You've got them in the back of your head. Really, they should be on paper on the wall, so you know exactly what you're shooting for. Instead of having them in the back of your head, that's where I'm bad there. But surrounding myself around people like yourselves, like you guys, and me and Andrew literally live in each other's back pocket. I get motivated every day to just keep going, don't give up. So for me, motivation is my morning routine and just being around the right people.
Good stuff. I like it. Very, very good. All right, so the next question from... All right, so best book that you have ever read and why?
Yeah.
Josh, you can.
Mine would probably be The 4-Hour Work Week. Probably the only book
Great
I've ever
book.
read.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, legit. Yeah, after I read that, I was like, 4 hours, That'd
Yep.
be pretty nice if you could work 4 hours a week.
Yep.
But it was more like the mentality of that whole like 80-20 rule, where Tim Ferriss in the book, he talked about how he dropped about like 80% of his clients and focused on the 20% that were creating him most of his business. And he found that he only had to work 4 hours a week then,
Wow.
and he was getting the exact same income, if not more, because he was spending more time on his high net worth clients. Like we were just talking to someone, I just mentioned him before, Andrew, who was he's got different clients, charges an hourly rate, but we said, hey, we want you to come on full time, and he had to work out, okay, if I lose this client, then is it worth me coming on full time and working more hours? But I said to him, like, that 80-20 rule, like focus on the clients that are going to make you more money. You don't have to work as much or put in as much effort. So that really connected with me a lot in the fact that, you don't have to work a Monday to Friday job and swap your time for money. You can you can focus on what your worth is and then charge what you're worth.
Perfect. Very good. What about you, JP?
Mine would be, it's a bit corny, well, from my background, it is... shit, the colour in version.
Better not be the motherfucking Notebook.
No, believe it or not, mine was Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you mean that's a good book?
I love that book.
Good
I love
book.
that book. And the reason why it's corny is only because... obviously, when you read the book, it's all about his poor dad, which is his real dad, who brings him up, and then the rich dad is the friend's dad, blah, blah, and he learns from both. The reason why I love that book so much, because obviously I've come from a very poor background, very poor, and I struggled for most of my life growing up here in Australia. Came to Australia when I was 7, but we've always struggled since moving here. And when I read that book and reading the poor dad stuff and what he taught him, it was... so my parents are a bit more brutal than the book, but Latino parents, they don't fuck around, they beat the fuck out.
Very similar to Asian parents.
Exactly. And I just enjoyed seeing the differences where when he talked about the rich dad, it made me think, I never experienced that, I never saw that, I've never, you always wish you had at least that example. And I guess I always strive to go, okay, well, I can't get a rich dad, I can try and find my own way in life and surround myself around the right type of people. And that book really opened my eyes in a lot of ways. Just like I said before, put yourself around motivational people or people that help you drive yourself and blah, blah, blah. And that book gave me so much, and I've read it about 3 times.
Oh, good.
Yeah, love that book.
You'll remember a verse out of that book, or I'll never forget it. I read it once, and it's always stuck with me. So he said, it may ring a bell to your ears. So it says, never say that you can't afford something. Always ask, how can you afford something? One is a question, one is a statement, one makes the mind think of a solution for the question, one closes the question off, and you move on.
Yes.
So never say you can't afford something. Say, how could I actually afford that?
Yeah, that was huge. Like I saw someone who was like, never go into like shopping centers like IGA or Coles and look at their little brochure for sale magazines.
Yeah.
Because that's indicating to you what can you afford to buy.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Because I have a lot of mates, as soon as we walk into the shops, they'll look for that little like cheapo what's on sale magazine.
Gotcha.
And it's that mentality like, I'll only go to the shops and buy what's on sale.
Sure.
Because that's what I can afford.
Gotcha.
It's not like, oh, I've just made X amount so I can buy whatever groceries I want.
Yes. Yes.
So I didn't even know they had that brochure.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm gonna look for it now. Next week, I'm fucking getting bargains.
Yeah.
No, I don't really like IGA. I'm more of a Woolworths or Coles man. I think IGA always is way too overpriced.
But what you said about that sentence in that book, that's huge.
Yeah.
It's valuable because after we did our NLP course together, everything I did after that course was always, how can I get myself out of this shit? What do I need to do? Putting my mind into, because as we learned in the NLP courses, your subconscious mind has all the answers. It knows everything. The problem is that we don't know how to access it.
Yeah.
So by asking the question, how or what do I need to do, your brain has to go into thinking mode and go, what do I have to do? And I'm going to steal this bit off Andrew. One thing Andrew said to me once, I don't know if you remember what Andrew said to me once.
I remember everything.
Yeah,
Tell me.
Yeah, and I
was probably drunk.
Yeah, but it just made me realize the difference between parents and the difference between how you bring up your children is a huge difference. So obviously, I'm not going to dwell into mine, but mine was brutal growing up as a kid. It was really, really bad. And just when Andrew said this one thing that made me realize, fuck, especially after I just said that when you talk about how or what, put your mind to thinking, was Andrew said to me once, he said he was ready to get a job when he was 15. He could probably elaborate it better. He was going to get a job when he was 15 or whatever, and his dad said, no, you're not getting a fucking job. You're going to make your own fucking money, your own job. How are you going to do it? So he had to put himself into a thinking mind of, fuck, how do I make money? Dad won't let me get a job. Straight away, at a young kid, to turn on that part of your brain to go, think.
Started picking avocados from the backyard and selling them out the front.
Yeah, see? That straight away. And
Yeah.
I just thought, fuck, man, that's so powerful, just that thing alone. No, how are you going to do it? And then as a little kid, you don't know shit. You just, and like I said, picking avocados and, I do this. You just do whatever it takes. And,
Yeah. Like I would have thought of doing that unless I had to. Do you know what I mean? It's I think when you put a kid into a position where they have to do something to achieve what they want to achieve, the human mind's a very intelligent thing. It understands that it's going to have to do something to get what it desires, sort of thing. So when you cut off one bit of access to making that reality happen, we just deter and look for something else to do. So that I'll definitely be doing that with my son for sure. So
100%.
you're not getting a job, you're going to make your own job, find a problem and solve it.
100%.
So it's definitely a good thing to teach kids. My favorite book would be, it's not a business related book, it's actually more of a spiritual related book. It's called The Way of the Peaceful Warrior by Dan Millman, I think it is. Now the book, basically the whole premise of the book is the journey of a kid trying to get what he wants in life, and then he finally gets there and it wasn't all it was cracked up to be. And the whole premise of the book is enjoy the journey, not the destination. Right, and it resonated with me on so many levels because, and there was actually a movie now. So John, you can watch this because I know John likes watching movies more than books. The Way of the Peaceful Warrior is out. Lionsgate did a full-on a movie of it. It's really, really good. It's very similar to the book. The book's better, but for all you lazy motherfuckers, watch the movie. Really good book where it basically explains that everyone is fixated on a destination. Everyone's fixated on having something that they don't have. Sometimes we can lose track of life, not smell the roses, not feel the wind, not feel the grass that we're standing on because we're fixated on getting to the top of the mountain. And then when you finally get up there, you may have lost everything to get there, your family, friends, relationships, you name it, to get there. When you get there, it's very lonely at the top. And it's not sometimes all it's cracked out to be. Imagine dedicating your whole life, no going out, no seeing friends, no meeting new people, no meeting a girlfriend, all for this one goal of being a millionaire or owning your own house outright. And then you get there, and I can promise you, you'll change over the course of that journey. And when you do get there, you're going to feel empty in a way. So don't worry about the destination. Worry about being present every day and understanding how grateful you should be every day to even wake up and have two legs to stand on. Because I think we get so frustrated with we're not achieving enough. We're not, we're not billionaires yet. We don't have, all the luxuries in life that we've sort of set our goals out to be. And then even when we get something nice, like, even when you buy the Lamborghini, even when you buy an R8, even if when you buy a boat or you buy the house or you buy things that most people dream about, it just feels like it's not enough. It feels like, oh, yep, that was cool. And you can't even really soak up the juices of what you bought, sort of thing. So I think really enjoying the journey, and then when the destination happens, yes, it should be a celebration, but the celebration is the journey. And that's what the book talks about. And that resonated with me so much because I got so fixated on getting to my end destination that there were plenty of times where I would not enjoy the smaller things in life. And the journey's everything. It's like not worrying about life itself and then worrying about death. And then be excited when death happens, sort of thing. That's probably the best way to look at it. Enjoy your fucking life. Don't worry about the end. You know what I mean? So that book was freaking awesome. Really, really good. Easy to read. Lots of colouring in sections. So go for you, JP. Yes. No, it's a good book. Definitely recommend reading it. What about you, John?
Well, I was going to say it would be Steve Jobs. That would be one of the very few books I've ever finished. But recently, my business partner Josh bought me a book called Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Edison. It's basically talking about 4 different human behaviors and how do we communicate with people. So basically, the book talks about the book categorizes people into 4 different sectors, and out of these 4 different behaviors, some of them you might think they're dumb, but actually they're not stupid. It's just their thinking process is very different than yours. But most of us, we don't take the time to understand why people think that way, and what makes us think it's easy doesn't always make other people think it's easy, and vice versa. So everyone is talented in different ways. So the book actually teaches me how, because I get angry easily, I admit that, because I get frustrated when something that's so simple to me.
You have a famous line, don't you?
You want to reveal too much of my devil's side. I'm trying to be a likable person on the podcast. You're always trying to bring it down. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about how do we communicate with people better. So that book actually taught me and makes me think more about how to communicate with people that are slower than you, thinking process-wise, that think differently than you. So it's a good book for anyone out there who might have a short temper. It will calm you down and start putting yourselves in other people's shoes.
Seeing from a different angle.
Yeah, different angle.
Yeah, cool. How good. Alrighty, we are speeding through the questions today.
Awesome.
Good work, boys. This one is a great question. How to find an investor for a business or property or idea or any of the above. So you guys are definitely the professionals at this, that's for sure.
Yep.
John, I think we might start with you so then you can ruin it for everyone else going after.
Well, if I start talking about it, you guys would just be repeating what I said.
Yeah, I agree with John. No, yes.
You sure you want me to start? Repeat your question again. So
how would a viewer find an investor for their idea, for their development, for anything that needs obviously funding?
Business, yeah.
Right. Yeah, of course. The reason why I asked Andrew to repeat, so when I give the answer, people clearly know what I'm talking about. So a lot of people have ideas. I talk about this all the time. People have ideas, have great ideas, but not every idea can turn into profit. Not every idea can be understood and accepted by general public. So the way to get funding, which I'm proud to say I'm pretty good at it. I'm not a salesperson. I never say I never consider myself as a salesperson. I'm a closer. The biggest difference is anyone can become a salesperson if they wish to. It's easy. Just have a product and try to sell it. Have a service, try to sell it. As a closer, you don't care about the process. You don't care about how good the product is. As long as you can get someone to believe in the product or service you sell, then you would be able to close the deal. So the easiest way is to fully understand what are you trying to sell, such as your service, your product. So for example, I'll give you a live example. I have a development site that I'm trying to raise funds in Taiwan, overseas. So a couple of questions people need to understand. Do they understand the market? They don't. They're from overseas. Do they understand the legislations? No, they don't. It's a totally different game. So my challenge is that I have to educate, and Josh will know this, I get challenged all the time. Oh, it doesn't work that way in Taiwan. Well, yeah, because it is not in Taiwan, it's in Australia. So my best way of helping people to understand how to raise funds is you need to understand who your target audiences are. By understanding who they are, then put yourself in their shoes. Understand how and what they need, how you can bring value to them. So for life example again, with Taiwanese people, with Asian clients in China, in Taiwan, in Hong Kong, the only, I use this word, only reason they would bring their money to Australia is because of a safe country here, because of the lifestyle. So if you're not touching these main points, you're never gonna raise funds. A lot of people don't understand, a lot of developers. I had a friend, a solicitor friend, Nicholas, who came through the office just last Friday. Yep. So he was invited to go to Taiwan from another big developer in Australia. I'm not gonna name who, because it's a small industry. They went to Taiwan, did a seminar. We invited Nicholas to attend one of our seminars back then as well. So I asked him honest question, how was it? How did it go? He said, nothing compared to what you guys have done back then. The main reason is, like I said, because they focus on the development. They keep on talking about how great the development is, how good of a product it is, they should invest. No one's gonna invest because everyone will say how good they are, how good their product is, how good their service. That's just human nature. You got to understand they don't care about how good of your product just yet until they want to move here. So you need to sell them the lifestyle, the dream of Australian dream, how they can benefit by moving here physically for their kids, for themselves. Then they start trusting you. Then you talk about your investment opportunities.
Yeah.
Then they would then listen to you because you need to earn trust. So to cut the whole long story short, to be able to raise funds, you need to earn trust. How to earn trust? By providing value. How to provide value? By understanding what people need, not what you think people need. It's about what people actually need, okay? A lot of times people just keep on tossing away ideas like, this is the best service. This is the best investment opportunity. You need to invest in this because in your eyes, in your brain, you think that is, but maybe to me it's not. Some people like Lamborghini, others like Ferrari. So why keep on convincing someone who wants to buy a Ferrari to buy a Lamborghini? It's hard, and most of the time, you will fail. Since I was little, I'm not a failure. I always want to win. That's just my personality, I want to win. How do you win? You cannot win every war. You need every battle,
yeah.
but you can win the war by understanding who your opponents are. And make sure you target the people that are willing to listen to you and forget about the people that want to buy Ferrari. Just talk to the people that want to buy Lamborghini. I guarantee you there are enough people who wants to invest, who wants to come to Australia. But you got to talk to them. Don't talk to people that have no intention to move to Australia and you're trying to sell them with a development side. You're never going to work.
Sweet.
So that's my take on it.
Yeah, I completely agree with John. It really doesn't matter about the deal. I could name like 10 deals off the top of my head that's been really bad and still got really smart people to invest in them. Say Jewel, for example.
Yep.
How much money did that lose? So much millions of dollars went into that. John's right. You need to focus on.
That was almost $1 billion, wasn't it? That building, yeah.
Yeah, crazy. And had like what?
How much?
If I remember correctly, I could be wrong.
Really? I didn't think it was that much.
No, I might have to
I think it'd be like I think about 3 billion.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, that's all. 3 billion is still a lot. I think Q1 was
the
like.
first owner bought it for about low hundreds, 100 and something, and then ended up selling it for 80 to the guy.
80 million.
Yeah, he lost about
1.3 billion.
Yeah, I thought it was just over $1 billion.
just the land, but
Yeah. Oh, right.
yeah, bought it for 120, sold it for 80.
Yeah, I thought it was 2.3 or 1.4, 1.5 billion.
How many smart people would have invested in a $120 block of land? I mean, it doesn't matter what the deal is. John's right. Focus on the person who you're asking the funds from and find out what they need. But
That's more for like an international investors, obviously.
yeah.
Do you want to maybe shed some light on if it's not international as well? Yeah.
So I think it's important to focus on what they need. But if you're talking to someone who's got all the money in the world, they don't need to make more money. So what I would recommend is focusing on yourself, investing on yourself.
Gotcha.
At the end of the day, you're not going to raise money if people don't like you,
Sure.
or if you don't know your shit.
Sure.
So invest in, being a nice person, being genuine, stuff like that.
Yep.
And then also being really knowledgeable in your product.
Sure.
Knowing it. So if someone asks you challenging questions,
Yep.
you know all about it.
Definitely.
The smartest person. Like when we do this mini Shark Tank thing, if a little kid comes in and they're like awesome, you want to believe in them, but their idea is shit, probably still invest. Just
Yep.
help them tweak it here and there. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
100%.
So I think if you can concentrate on yourself
Yep.
and how to be a better person, it'll be a lot easier.
Good stuff. I think for finding any sort of capital raising and being able to raise funds for a business or an idea, I think the number one most important thing would be by a mile. To start, you have to have a good product or service for them to actually invest their time, energy, and money into it. I think, yes, John touched some great points there, and Josh as well, in regards to making sure that you sell a lifestyle as a part of the investment as well. So they want to improve their life, not just make money. But I think probably a little bit more importantly is making sure that, and this is probably a bit different for them because they're doing really big shit. Like, they're like almost, they're like the sharks swimming in the ocean sort of thing. And a lot of these people starting out are going to be more like tuna and a lot smaller projects. So I think really having a great idea, refining that great idea to make sure it's gold. Because if you're trying to sell, here's a nice example for you. If you're trying to sell a gold billion brick, right, that may be worth, let's say for instance, $500,000 for $10,000, do you think that's going to be easier to get investors involved with?
Yeah, sure.
Why? It's worth $500,000, right? And it's backed up by a currency and an economy. So now my point there is the value of what I was proposing was worth $500,000. I'm only selling it for $10,000. So there's not even much of a sell there. You don't even have to beg for investors. Investors will come to you when they realize how big of a deal it is. So I think really refining what you're actually proposing is probably by far the most important thing. If you have a good enough idea and a good enough plan, investors will be you'll be fighting off more investors than you'll be looking for. For instance, if you came up with another Instagram, came up with another Facebook, do you really think you're going to struggle to find investors? Definitely not. Because you're going to reach out to certain people. Those certain people are going to have connections. And remember this, everyone has fucking money. Very few have a good idea. And an idea is worth 10 times what a dollar is. 10 times. Because an idea can generate generational wealth. An amount of money will actually devalue over time. Yeah? So hold on to your ideas. Refine them, polish them, make them better, make them attractive, and you will not have an issue finding an investor.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's very true.
Yep. So that would be it for me finding an investor. All right. So, John, tell me a bit about this next question because I think you'd be very good at answering this as well.
Yeah.
How to find good people for your business. Now, I'm sure this is referring to more of the recruiting side. Obviously, you've had a bit of experience with staff in the past and trying to find good people for your business. So, do you want to shed a bit of light on that?
Yep, no problem. I think for me, the easiest way to find good people for your business is to avoid people that doesn't suit your business.
Yep.
I mean, easy to say than done.
Yep.
I've made mistakes myself throughout my whole business career that I got people on board just because I like them. They sound like they can do the shit.
Talk
and
is
then after,
cheap.
talk is cheap. And after a while, you don't find them motivated enough. You don't find them aggressive enough to make something work.
Sure.
Then you go your separate ways.
Sure.
The best way to find good people, I think, you need to spend more time talking to them about what you're trying to achieve here and see whether they find the same passion and same drive.
So your visions align.
Yeah, so I would strongly suggest instead of having 3 months trial period, just have 2 weeks trial period. Because within 2 weeks, you will know that person
100%.
very well, whether they're on board or they're not on board.
100%.
That was the biggest mistake I've made multiple times, getting people on board, giving them 3 months trial period, and then it's just not working out. And when it's not working out, it's actually draining your energy as well as that person's energy. Because there's no one's fault. But the problem is your employee or someone that you hired or someone you bring on board is just not in the same position as you are. And that's a waste of time. So yeah, in a nutshell, just make sure that you don't give people 3 months trial period. Give them 2 weeks, because you never know who you're gonna find. People can sound shit, they might turn out great. People might sound great, they turn out shit. So get someone on board that you truly believe they can bring value and give them 2 weeks trial period and throw them as much as what you need from them. And you'll find out whether that person will be suitable for your business or
Sink or
not.
swim.
Yeah, exactly right. So what about your take on it?
I've got a lot of experience in this. I've hired well and truly probably up to 600 staff by now. And it is by far the most important thing a business owner can learn. And that's why I did the NLP course back in the day, was to understand people and how to read people and how to read their behavior. So for me, without a doubt, is understanding exactly what you want from that person and creating a test to be able to test them in an interview process to make them buckle and see if they can basically pull through the interview to start with. So I normally have like a 3-stage approach. My first stage would be identifying how to find the right people. So Seek, LinkedIn, even reaching out to other companies that you know people are doing well in and reaching out to them to see if they're willing to do a career change. That's where I probably found has been the most successful, because people are normally looking for jobs. Most of the time unnecessarily weren't very good. That's why they're currently looking for a job in most cases. I mean, not all the time, but most time. So I create a test over the phone where I would send them, actually I lie, I'd send them out a survey once they apply for the job with, say, 10 of my top questions that I want them to answer. They would send that questionnaire back. It would get put into a spreadsheet with a system that I created. It gets graded as 1, 2, or 3 as the level that they answered the question. That would tally up a total of how they answered the results, and I would know whether that person was suitable for even a phone call. Once they passed that questionnaire, I would then call them, go through an interview process of 10 minutes maximum, ask them another set of questions that I wanted answered. If they passed that, that's the only time ever where I'd ever let them waste a manager's time or my time coming in for a face-to-face interview. Then when they came in for the face-to-face interview, if it was to do with sales, I would write a script about something completely unrelated to the business, tell them to sell me whiskey, tell them to sell me a podcast recorder, tell them to sell me a mic, and I would say you've got 5 minutes to go into the room and write out all the key sales points of your product. Come back to me. I'm going to take the sheet off you, and I want to see if you can read that word for word without having it in front of you.
Man.
That's intense.
And they're like, man, there's no way I can do that. And I said, well, maybe this position isn't for you. Sure, you don't want to give it a go? And then they would be like, okay, I'll give it a go, blah, blah, blah. They would go away for 10 minutes, come back. Some aced it. Some couldn't even get close. But what I was looking for was to see if people broke and got nervous by me putting pressure on them, first of all. Second of all, I found out if they were intellectually intelligent or witty. Now, I'm looking for witty. Okay, I don't really essentially want intellectually smart people. I want witty people, because witty people can problem solve. Witty people can, intellectually intelligent people are very good at studying and understanding something and then repeating something that they've learnt. Okay, where you'll get people that are witty that can literally come up with something and come up with a solution on the spot. Like I think John's actually a bit of a hybrid. He's quite intellectually smart, but he's obviously very witty as well. That's why he's a closer. So I think that I was trying to identify whether they were witty or intelligent would be the best way to examine that in the interview. And then after that, I would put them through a 2-week trial. And my biggest thing was I hated training people and then them not working out. If they worked out, then I would obviously put them on in the position. And then once I put them on in the position, then I would very quickly assess them after a 2-week period to see if they were suitable for the position or not.
Wow, that's brutal, man.
Yep.
Very brutal.
And I was literally like as brutal as you could possibly get is the best way to hire, because I want to see if you can hold up in a make or break situation, if you're going to fight or flight from the situation. Especially when you're dealing with sales, you want people that are very good at dealing with pressure. You know, if you're dealing with someone that's dealing with a house sale of $600,000 and he's willing to let the sale go because they're not willing to pay for a signboard out the front, okay, they're not the people that you want working on your team. And I'll finish with this. The most inexperienced people and the laziest people that may seem the cheapest to hire and the easiest to hire will cost you the most in the long run.
Yeah.
Your cheapest employee will be your most expensive.
Yeah. I can't agree.
Times 20. You are 10 times better going and finding the best person in his field, giving him a $10,000 advancement and saying to him you'll pay it off over a 12-month period. It's a bit long. A 12-month period if you're struggling with cash flow, or if you've got the cash flow, hire fucking good people.
Yeah.
Why hire someone that's shit?
Yeah.
Don't get lazy. Look better.
I agree.
Don't be a fucking idiot. Go out there and search for the right people, because you can either hire Elon Musk or Steve Jobs type of brains, or you can hire people that are lazy and turn up 30 minutes late to work and give you excuses on, oh, the guy wouldn't answer his phone.
Or your car had issues.
Or the car had issues when it got here.
And
So
with that process that you put them through, did you find it hard finding people? Because you would have turned through thousands.
I used to interview up to 40 people a week, and 3 would make it into training.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the biggest thing for me was I didn't mind interviewing. I hated training people and them being duds at the end. That took a week of my time.
Yeah.
Was this for the agency?
Yep.
Yeah,
And there's a week of my time.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'd rather test them as best as I can through a screening process.
Yeah.
And I got so heavy into this that I even made a online course to recruit people. So what I did was,
Then you can study
if you got the job,
Yeah.
I would go, okay, great, you've got the job. I'm sorry, you passed the first
Yeah,
stage
yeah.
of getting the job. Now I'm gonna send you a program. You're going to listen to the program,
Yeah.
watch the video. I would set up a test that marks them without me even touching it.
Yeah.
They're not even allowed to go to the next stage in the program unless they pass and answer the questions that have been repeated on the video. It would train them all about the business. After they'd shown me a certificate that they'd passed the course, then and only then they were allowed to get on the phone and start selling.
How did you find the people? I don't know if you guys asked. How did you find the people to interview?
Scared.
Scared.
Yeah, he found them through Seek and.
Oh, how did I find the people?
Yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
meant how to find the people, like how they were as people, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Mainly through LinkedIn, and Seek was great for volume, but you just got a lot of shit on there. It was basically people that were looking for a job for a reason. That they were no good at their first job. That's why they're seeking. I found no pun intended. The LinkedIn, I found it was very good to link with people. No, I'm kidding. I found it was very good to connect with professionals on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Seek, your people are reaching out to you. LinkedIn, you're reaching out to them, and they are professionals that care about their career. They actually care about their business. It's like LinkedIn is like a Facebook for business sort of thing. So, if it was to do with recruiting, I would just find the industry that you're in, see who the top performers are, get to know them, befriend them, and steal them if you can.
Yeah, so you're almost like poaching them, because on LinkedIn
100%.
they would obviously have a job.
If you don't, some people obviously get very offended by poaching people and stuff. I believe that you will never have to worry about someone poaching a staff member from your business if you treat them right. And if you do everything you possibly can to make sure they feel loved and you're paying them correctly.
So how would you start the conversation? Would you just try to catch up for a coffee or get to know them first, or would you just straight up be like, hey, you're gonna come sell real estate for me instead?
I would just say, are you happy where you are, and are you making, our average agent is making between 10 to 20K a month in commission with a proven track record of our training. If you would like to be a part of that, I'm more than happy to catch up with a coffee for you. If not, we look forward to you possibly joining in the future once you hear through other people our process.
So you had a training set up already in place.
Set up. Because you can't expect, this is what so many people get wrong about staff recruitment, you can't expect someone to be good. A team's only as good as its coach and its trainer. You can't expect the Titans to start winning, okay, unless the coach has his head screwed on and he's recruited the right players for the team. He's set up the right plays for the game and he understands the team and how to operate it. The team will fall apart with the wrong coach. So you need to find the right people. And again, people get so confused on, you know, we just need bums on seats, we just need bums on seats. No, you don't. You need the right bums on seats. I'd rather have 5 people in the office that are closers and that are making big money than have 30 people out there earning a quarter of what the big guys were. Then you're having to deal with 30 people. When you deal with 30 people, like once you start to get to 10, you're dealing with like half a classroom. Then when you get to 20, you're really starting to get to a school classroom size. And every fucking day, someone's dying. Guarantee it. There's someone's car's broken down. And someone has found traffic when they live 300 meters from the property. And man, it's just like, I hate slap happy people. I hate lazy people. I hate people who are entitled. So it's just like when they tell me these dumbass excuses times 30 on a monthly basis, it really starts to bring your stress levels up. So when you get to that sort of staff level, you need management and all that sort of stuff as well, which is a different story. But hire good people and have a training process, have a test to make sure you're identifying, sieving out the right and wrong people.
Yeah, can't agree more.
Yeah. What about you, Josh? Have you found the right people in the past? So how do you find great people?
How do you find great people? I think we spoke about this a couple of podcasts ago. I don't know if we published it, but something I sort of brought up was this guy called Ryan Serhan. He's an agent over in New York.
Yep.
One of the biggest things that he did to find leads and just meet new people was literally go down to the street in New York and he set a goal every day to meet 5 new people. And he'd introduce himself like, "Hi, I'm Ryan." They'd be like, "What the fuck? Like, why are you telling me?" It's like, "Oh, look, I'm just new in town." Like he just moved to New York, and he's really just meeting people. But he was selected with who he targeted. So if he was selling prestige property, he would target people that had the money.
In Manhattan, yeah.
But he was selling family homes. So what he did was he targeted pregnant women because he's like, oh, so this pregnant woman's obviously going to have to upsize into like a family home. So I'll target them and get to know them. And he was good looking as well, so he wanted to have a chat. So he targeted just any random people on the street. So I would say, yeah, your biggest selling asset in finding leads is yourself. You can use Facebook marketing and stuff, which is great. But at the end of the day, you sell you. So it's like just go down and meet people. And like you said, you might only need 5, 10 people. You know, have 5, 10 agents. It depends on how much of quality are they. High quality, low quality. And the high quality people that want to buy now, then, it's going to add up.
Yep.
If you meet 5 people a day, you work
Goes on.
7 days a week, it's a lot of people.
100%. I think if you've got, like what I was saying before, if you've got a good enough product or service, it's not really a hard sell. Again, like imagine if Elon Musk was looking for people to work for Tesla engineers. You know, they know the brand, they know the value that he holds, they know the people that they're going to be around. Working for Google, there's like a wait to work for Google. So if you create a big enough brand where it draws people in with your vision, draws people in with your structure, again, recruiting will be easier. But if you've got a cheesecake shop, right, and it's just a standard cheesecake shop, nothing better than the one down the road, yes, of course you're going to struggle. Imagine how hard that would be to pitch to someone. Yeah. And if it's got a limited capped income, you know, you can only make $20 an hour there. How the fuck are you supposed to pitch that to someone? So maybe make a business that also could be high commission based, because that's a pretty big incentive, right? Why does anyone work? Money.
If not for money, absolutely.
For sure. All right, so next question. Or do you want to do a bit of recruiting?
No, I'm all good. You guys well.
Next question would be, and it's our final question, is what is your morning routine?
Yeah.
Right? Do we want to start with JP?
Oh, yeah, I sort of said it earlier.
Let's expand this one out to a whole morning and day routine, I think. Because that's probably more important.
Yeah.
some people, morning does definitely help, but let's do a whole day one as well.
The whole day on
Yep.
a normal day. Okay, so as I said earlier, I wake up around 5-ish, from 4:45, whatever. I go to the gym after that. Make sure I have a hearty breakfast, always, and a coffee. Oh, I either have oats or Wheat Bix. It's boring as shit, but it does the job.
Like a big bacon.
Yeah, man, I wish I
You just said a hearty breakfast.
well, hardy because I have a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
true.
prison
Probably
food.
like hardy.
Yeah.
I've only started doing that about a month ago, only because I was having like toast, peanut butter jam, you know, I was having the bacon and eggs every now and then I was like, man, I'm getting too fat. Shit. So I went back to, you know.
So obviously you haven't done anything about that.
What are you talking about?
You fat motherfucker.
I got all the pics.
Yeah.
Shit,
Yeah, dude, yeah. Those moves look good.
boobs.
No moves, man boobs.
Look, I know you're jealous mine are bigger than yours, just like everything else. Anyway,
Wait, last time I checked, you can't flex fat, motherfucker.
fucking hell. That happens to my pants when I flex down there.
Sorry, we're getting on track. All right, so
Yeah, anyway, we big whatever. I have breakfast, coffee, then pretty much I walk to work, which I quite enjoy. It's only like a 15-minute walk, so it gets me going, gets me ready for the day. Coming here, emails first, obviously check all that out. And then just pretty much sort out my clients' issues and stuff I need to do there. By the afternoon, obviously lunch comes around the afternoon, I continue trying to see if I can seek some more work. After that, in the afternoon, I pretty much start to wind down, make sure I've covered everything for the day. And then in the afternoon, I either go to the gym with Andrew because he doesn't wake up in the mornings because he's lazy. Or for gym, that is. Yeah.
you're fucked. Yeah, exactly right. There's three sides to every story, motherfucker. Your side, my side, and the truth. Yeah. And the truth is about to speak.
Yeah, so either the gym or go for a walk. We'll go for a walk, or that's probably about it. I just chill for the rest of the night.
It's good.
Don't do much.
Yep.
Okay.
So me, morning routine, get up roughly around 7:30, 8-ish.
12
I'm going
o'clock.
to gym with JP. May get up around 6 and then get to gym by about 7. This happens once a month, I would say. It was better at the start, and then I sort of slackened off and I've become more of a night bird. But yeah, get up around 7, 6:37. Don't have breakfast. I'll have water with like warm sort of water. I'll have a teaspoon or 2 of pink Himalayan salt, and then I'll squeeze half a lemon into that for a bit of a detox, full of electrolytes. So I'll start with that. Then I'll go normally to come in here, obviously, set up my day, have a normal work day here. At lunch, I'll try to eat, as best as I can, normally from a cafe downstairs because I don't normally cook. Bella actually is my own personal chef at the moment, which is JP's girlfriend. So she's an absolute legend. Shout out to Bella. We're going to start a kitchen soon, so make sure you subscribe. Her meals are out of control. Then I'll come home, and that's basically where my day normally starts. So I'll go to gym in most cases. Once I come home from gym, I'll normally work from about 8 o'clock up to 2:30, which is just literally researching new products out there, new brands and new businesses that I could try to create, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube channels, and I normally read at least 1 or 2 of the book summaries a night. So at the moment I'm reading 1 a night, so I'm getting through 7 book summaries a week, and you can imagine how much you learn out of that. I normally read a chapter or 2 a night of a book that I'm reading as well. One at the moment that I'm reading is called Stealing Fire, which is a really, really good book. Bit about SAS, Google, and how they are very similar in regards to how they get things done. So that was a really good book. Definitely recommend reading that. So I'll work till about 2 a.m. in most cases, get pretty tired after that, and then I'll maybe watch half an hour of TV. I always have to go to bed with TV on, 100%.
New movies, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Netflix.
I'm really into Yellowstone at the moment.
Oh, dude, I'll tell you what I'm into. Have you watched Umbrella Academy?
No.
Fuck, it's unreal.
For the first couple of episodes,
Watch
I
it.
Good.
lost interest.
Yeah, on Netflix. Really good.
You lost interest on
They
it?
just
Yeah,
gave
after
it
a couple of first episodes,
It's like
that
Game
good.
of Thrones. You got to watch at least like a whole
See,
season.
I couldn't get into Game of Thrones. I watched the whole season. I'm like, this is fucking horse shit.
Yeah,
you gotta get
I
into
watched about 3 episodes and
You
Yeah.
got to watch like 3 seasons. And then
If I have to watch 3 seasons of something to like it, that's a shit series.
Oh, you're never gonna feel better after like 10 seconds.
So bro, give it 3 seasons. How many seasons are there? 4. It's like
So
come
you
on.
gotta watch it for 4 years, and then you'll grow into it, like Walking Dead.
Power is probably the best series out there, I reckon.
Powers.
Have you seen Power? Oh my god. Have you seen Power? Man, have you Stan?
Oh,
Stan.
Yeah.
Maybe because I don't have it.
Well, you guys need to stop being fucking tight asses and get Stan. I'm pretty sure you've got on about 18 devices in here. Log the fuck in and watch Stan.
One of them probably comes with Stan.
Does it? Yeah, watch Power. Sick. So good. Like probably
What season is it on right now?
it's up to 6.
6. Okay.
But it's the best. You will get obsessed with it, and you'll get obsessed quick. Gangster as fuck. It's awesome. And then the other one's Breaking Bad. That's an absolute
Breaking
banger.
Bad.
And
Yeah.
Entourage. Entourage is one of my favorite. You watch Entourage?
No, I haven't seen
Oh my god! I wish I was you right now. I can watch Power and Entourage. They're my 2 favorite. Entourage is the back end of Hollywood.
it. Okay.
So how all the actors get their jobs, like struggling actors. Mark Zuckerberg's whole it's his TV series, but it's the back end of Hollywood.
On Stan as well?
I think that's on Netflix. Check on both. But yeah,
Let me make some notes.
yeah, Entourage and Power change your life. And you're only allowed to watch
Bad is fantastic.
epic, so good. And it's funny because Breaking Bad actually takes a fair bit to get into. Like the first couple of episodes, I was like,
Yeah, exactly.
and then it was, and same as Entourage. Entourage will take about 3 episodes to get to know the characters, and then you get into it. But man, you will love Entourage. He won't stop fucking talking about. Ari Gold is like the man. He's just this ruthless agent in Hollywood that just has one-liners. Like he's basically.
They have the movie version of
Yeah, they do. Watch
I've seen the
Entourage.
movie.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen the movie.
Ari Gold is just like, yeah. You're definitely a very Ari Gold type.
Alright, I'll watch it.
Doesn't give a fuck. He came in with like a paintball gun to the office and started shooting all the agents he didn't like.
Oh.
Tyson, can you grab my...
Yeah. Can you grab my semi-auto? Yeah, so that'd be my routine. I'd like to switch off at night with a bit of TV at the end.
Yeah.
Turn the brain off because I think it's. And if I don't go to gym, I'm fucked. Like if I go home and I don't go to gym, my mind just doesn't stop going. I need to do that repeat exercise
You're like
up
a
and
dog.
down. Yeah, repeat exercise exactly like a dog. Repeat exercise up and down to get my mind out of thinking mode. Because you know when you've got stuff on your mind, it's very hard to sleep or relax. And that's me 24/7. So when I go to the gym, all I think about is up, down. Obviously, I'm doing more weight than JP, and that's all that matters. Do you know what I mean? He's doing 10 kilo dumbbells. I'm doing 22.
Please.
But yeah, that's my routine. What about you, Josh?
Yeah, cool. My routine's probably broken down. I get up about like 6, try to go to gym at least 3 times a week. Trying to go a bit more, but probably 3 times.
You look like you're going more than that.
Just buy extra small.
Yeah. Come back with some coffees. Then we walk the new puppy. We got a new puppy, so take her for a walk.
What brand?
German.
German Shepherd. How good. German. I like it.
It's
the
das
best.
Hund. German dog.
Yeah.
I like
So I
it.
take her for a walk, and then I normally leave about 8 o'clock. So I get here to the office about 9, a little bit before. One thing I try to do as well is try to get to the office before anyone else.
How does that going?
Pretty fucking good. I'd say
Once a month?
I'd say I'm here like at least 80% of the time more than anyone else.
Yeah. You know what they say,
You
you
know
know.
we have Ace available camera.
First one here, last one to leave.
Yep, I can definitely disagree with that. I can
Everyone here
definitely
can back me up.
I can definitely say that John is the last to leave. As for mornings, who gets here first? I have no fucking idea because
'Cause
I'm
you're
not
not
here
here.
first. But I can definitely say from stories on Instagram, John, it definitely tastes the cake for that.
Trust me on that.
John maybe comes in once.
And by the way, yeah. And look, I'm actually starting to archive John's videos and to actually see if there's any resemblance in previous videos taken that he may have used for future use. So now I'm starting to analyze, has he one day been here late at night taking a bunch of videos and then uploaded them later saying, another big night at the office, open the Lambo, you know, doing the whole thing. So I'm fucking watching you.
I know. See, I know people would think that way. That's why I fucking wear different shoes.
Hey!
It's not the same day.
Is that why you got a shoe cupboard in your office? Hey, you know what you didn't mention? You didn't mention your new desk.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right. We
What?
haven't mentioned about, well,
Yeah,
we'll talk
man.
about that next
Can we
We'll-
insert
we'll-
a video here?
Well,
I'll
when we're done, we'll film it.
All right, and so we got a new.
Talk us about it.
All right, so obviously, for some of you who might have been to our office before or who have heard of, us, that we have two amazing marble tables, one in the boardroom, one in the office. So this marble master, Gavin, a friend of mine, about 2.5 months ago, he started a new project with me. We want to create something one of a kind. So finally, this Sunday, he rang me up and he delivered that, side table to the office. And
JP
that
hasn't
was
seen it.
amazing, insane.
Can you see it?
like,
It's on the ground there behind the desk.
Yep.
Wait until you go and
So-
see it. It's sick.
Wait till you see it. It's not fully finished. He will come back to add lightings, add LED lights.
Oh.
So it's not properly done just yet. That's why I haven't really talked about it. Maybe I'll give it another week or two.
Yeah.
Once it's properly done, we'll give it a
film
good
it.
video. We'll film it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back to you, Josh.
Yeah, the only other thing I wanted to mention was I break down each day into like segments throughout the day. So like 8 to 10 different blocks, we call them blocks. And basically I'll work for like 45 minutes and then just go chill for like 10 minutes.
Good
10,
man.
15 minutes.
Love that.
Yeah. And then I'll be like, all right, this block I have to go and do X. And if I don't do it, I'll advance to the next block. And that way I can just get through everything.
So do you get a break if you complete the task in that block?
Yeah, break no matter what.
Okay.
And if you don't complete it, at least you know next day, oh fuck, I gotta go back and complete this block. Or at night time complete that.
Sick. And you
Yeah.
do that mainly because like your attention span lasts so long.
Of course, bro, I'm male. I have no attention span.
100%.
Like they say, like you can concentrate for men for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So some people I know even break it down to like, all right, 30 minutes I'll work on this, and I'll just go chill for 10 minutes.
JP can only concentrate for a minute before he goes.
Yeah. So what you
We're
need
talking
is,
about sex life here.
After talk about something else.
He's like, oh yeah. 1 minute wonder.
but that's it. Apart from that, I'm the last one to leave almost every night.
Yeah.
Again, we got surveillance cameras. We
true.
can double check on that.
Yeah, John's here talking to his girls.
Yeah.
This guy.
Definitely gonna have to cut that out.
Steals my line all the time. Never give credit or reference back to me. And then now he's talking shit.
I love it. And then what about at night? How do you wind down? So when you go home,
Yes.
I want to ask you this. When you go home, most entrepreneurs, business owners really struggle to unwind and relax and spend time with their loved ones and play with their new German. How do you do that? How do you unwind? How do you let go of a day?
Yeah, I don't think there's any like secret answer. I think like at the end of the day, if you want your business to succeed, you have to at least spend some percentage of time on it. And if you want to spend time with family, you have to allocate some percentage of time with that. And if you're gonna allocate more time with the family, it's gonna pull down the business.
Yep.
In that regards. But if you want to spend more time on your business, you want it to accelerate faster, then it's going to require more time on the business.
Cool.
That's probably simply put. I don't think there's any magical thing like, yin and yang.
Yep.
Like every partner that I've had's always been like, get off your phone, rah, rah.
Even male?
Yeah, even males.
Even she-male.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Even better.
what happens in Taiwan stays in Taiwan.
What happened in China?
So yeah, I would say like, obviously you want to work out a time that's family time and stuff like that.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, if you want to accelerate your business, you have to dedicate 100% to that.
Good
If
stuff.
if you say, all right, 10% I'm going to put with family, then you have to know as a business owner, you're not putting 100% into it.
Cool.
You're going to be at 90%. And if you're happy with that, then
Sure.
you're happy with it.
Good stuff. What about you, John?
Awesome. Well, my routine, my daily routine is very, very different than most people, I would say. Not that it's any better or worse. So I don't have a routine. Put it that way. So I'm a very spontaneous person. Since I was little till now, every time when people ask me what do you do on weekend, what are you going to do like during Christmas time, whatever, right? For me, honest truth, I never plan ahead. My trips, it's always, oh, I want to go to Melbourne, I'll just fly to Melbourne. You know, if I want to go to Taiwan, I'll just go. Like for me, I think life is very complicated already, so I try to make it simple. Like, why do you have to plan ahead? Because things might happen that might prevent you from doing what you want to do. So my daily routine, like Andrew, I don't sleep early. I sleep around 2 a.m.-ish, sometimes to 3 or 4. But I do wake up early. I wake up around 6:45. But I don't do anything when I wake up. I take about an hour just to sit on my, on the bed and just to think about what I want to do for the day. Then, which he knows, because when we go to Taiwan, I take very long shower.
Wow.
Longer than women, okay? I would stay in shower, taking shower for like an hour.
Such nice skin.
How long?
An hour?
No
No,
shit.
seriously. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. People think, oh, like I have such skin condition. People think, oh, do you, put mask? Or do you put lotion? So I don't take care of that. But I do love taking shower. I just let the, shower head water
Do you get like wrinkly fingers?
Wrinkly fingers.
Like you know when
Yeah,
you
you
But
know
like I said, it's not. It's just the back. I like to stand in the shower, and that keeps my mind very, very fresh. Because
So it's almost like a
in the
meditation.
shower room, it's like meditation. You think about what went wrong, what's gonna happen for the day to come, and you just let go whatever negative energies of yourself. So I take an hour, and then once I do that, which is about 2 hours away, so 6, 7, 8, so it's about 9 o'clock. So I don't come to work on time most of the times, but I'm the kind of person that if I need to be here for a purpose, if my investors are here at 6 o'clock, I will be here earlier than anybody. That is the reason why I stay the latest. Usually I go home around 8 o'clock or 9 sometimes because Taiwan has 2 hours of time difference than us. They're 2 hours behind us. So 8 o'clock our time, it's only 6 o'clock their time. So for me, throughout the whole day, I'm not like you guys. I work for certain hours or 45 minutes and take a break. I don't take a break. I always take breaks. But when I'm at work, I'm 110% dedicated.
Yep.
So if I talk to clients, if I don't see value, Josh can back me on this. If I don't see value, usually I'm very talkative, then I'll just be very quiet because I lose interest already. I lose interest faster than you, maybe 30 seconds, I lose interest. But if I see value, I will have 100% dedication. I will focus in your eyes, I'll look into your eyes, and as passionate as I can be to get the deals done. So that's my day. And when I go home, sometimes I go home late, like I've just mentioned. So my wife and my son now, 5-year-old, complains about me. Why are you coming home so late? Why are you on your phone all the time? So yes, Josh is right. When you want to grow a business, you sacrifice your family time, which I'm trying to spend more time with family, because family and business, you got to find a good balance. The funny thing about me is I'm not working hard to make sure I make more money. I just love how successful it'll become, because I love to win. Like I said, that's why I've mentioned that in podcasts previously. I was a gambler. I was a very, very high tier gambler. I was a diamond tier. So I love gambling. But the reason I love gambling wasn't so much about winning money. It was about that feeling. I win, So when I run a business now, every day I come to work, I feel like it's a puzzle. It's a game. When I come here, I scored, I close the deal, I feel happy. And that excites me. Kids play video games. Why? Because they're addicted, because it's fun. I come to work now because it's my business. I want to grow it. I've learned how to make sure it's profitable, and it is profitable. And I'm happy whenever I close a new deal. So that's my day. And when I go home, the reason why I sleep late is because I'm always learning. I don't like to read books, not like you guys, which I envy about because I fall asleep. But I like to watch videos, like what Andrew said. I love watching movies. I love watching inspirational speeches or those videos. then again, I don't watch anything that the person has a different traits than who I am, because I just don't find value. You know, I can watch someone talks about how they can build from nothing to something, but hey, again, sometimes people aren't born equally. I was born rich, so I can't really be like, I want to be like that. He started out nothing. I started out something. But then there are a lot of people who started out something and they ruined everything. So that was the mistakes that I would keep in the back of my mind. I don't want to be like that. But I can't put myself in someone's shoes when I already have a lot to start with. So for me, I always look at people who started out rich. Just so you know, Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, they started out rich. They didn't start out from nothing. If you
And Donald
dig,
Trump.
and Donald Trump, if you dig deep enough, they didn't start it out from nothing. They started out with something. Then and then a lot of people are trying to say, oh, I want to be like, you know, Bill Gates started off with nothing, worked in his garage. No. His dad had connections. I want to be like Warren Buffett. You know, he started out nothing, and now he knows how to invest. No. His dad has connections, so he knows how to do inside tradings. So what I'm trying to say is everyone's different. So my daily routine is very, very different from day to day. But then I think everyone should find a routine that makes sure they get a good balance in family life and business life. That's what I think. Yeah.
Awesome. That's good.
Yeah.
Sweet as. Well, it's the end of the podcast. Thank you, boys, for meeting up again.
Thank you, guys.
And
Another
good
great
luck
podcast.
in your weekly endeavors.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.